Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and this one was actually requested by a YouTube commenter. They specifically asked for a single mother who is a baker, and her home bakery is downstairs. So that is exactly what we're building, and I think for the first time I am actually building in Magnolia Promenade. I don't think I've ever built here. This is basically kind of like the retail businessy world that comes with base game, and so I thought it might be appropriate for the bakery to be there, even though it was like a home bakery. And I really leaned into this like really cute pastel, like adorable vibe. So that's what we have. And I actually ended up using this beautiful door from Strangerville and bringing in some of that like really nice pastel green, and then I used the purple from the wedding pack, like those windows, and I believe that like floral window is also from the wedding pack. I believe. I always mix up like the really pretty stained glass windows. We have a couple of them, but like where they come from, I always forget. But I'm pretty sure that one is the wedding pack. But anyways, so just kind of deciding what colors I wanted, what feel I wanted out here. And we do change it up a little bit in the front, and I do end up adding like a little like awning that's like white and pink, and it's so adorable. And I do end up actually bumping the back of the build out a little bit more because I decided, especially upstairs, I wanted it to be a little more spacious. So I decided that this single mother has a toddler. Why? I just thought it would be like adorable. So there are 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom upstairs in their like home, and we have an exterior staircase to actually get there, and we have like a parking spot out in the back, and I think it's so cute. The idea being like, I'm thinking that's like also the mom's like maybe like delivery van if she does like, you know, wedding cakes and, you know, travels with the cakes and the baked goods and all that kind of good stuff. And I just thought that was so cute and adorable. And I ended up putting these like planter boxes kind of all over the place because I just really wanted this to be a really nice magical place to go and visit with your Sims, as well as if you're actually playing with this home, like being able to actually, you know, live there and it be, you know, nice to live there. And the idea being here, if you haven't like really played with like retail lots, I think technically it's like a get to work thing, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just don't do a lot of gameplay, but I usually like if I ever play and I own a restaurant or a bakery or something like that, I end up just living on that lot. Like, let's just be honest, it's easier to do it that way than to try to live on another lot. Although I think the game kind of requires you to have like a quote home lot, even if you don't like ever, if you're never even there, but just instead going and like living at your place of work at your retail store, which is I feel like the kind of idea here. But like, let me know if I'm wrong and like you do more gameplay than I do. That's just like from memory. I just haven't done it in so long. I feel like actually when The Sims 4 came out, I do really enjoy baking. Actually, if you've actually gone to my Instagram, it is a lot of baked goods. I haven't done a whole lot of baking lately, but I do really enjoy it. And I feel like when I started playing The Sims 4, I was doing a lot of baking, and I was like, oh my gosh, you can have a bakery. Like, what pack is that from? What do I need to do? And like, I figured out that I needed to get to work, and like, I definitely played with a bakery. Like, it was just a long time ago. And my Sims, like, technically I built them a house, but like, I ended up like putting a bed at the bakery because they were there all of the time actually making stuff. And I even included like the cupcake machine and everything in this build, but I should probably talk about that when I actually get to the kitchen area. But out here I decided to actually put a really cute like seating area too, like if you go and get baked goods and you want to go sit, like that kind of idea. And I do include like this really cute like play area because I figured, you know, this mom has, you know, a toddler. That toddler is going to become a kid. And of course, if you download this, you can, you know, change it and make it a child. Like, there's plenty of room. Like, the room is big enough to have like an actual human, not like a toddler. And again, I say human, but these are Sims. Anyways, so if you want to download this, it is already up on the Sims 4 gallery under my ID, Spice and Sprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. So feel free to download it and, you know, change it up if you would like to like fit your gameplay. And like, let me know if you plan on using it. I'd love to hear about that. And so there is room not just for a toddler, but for like an older Sim as well. And I think it worked out really well. I struggled a little bit with the layout when I first started, like the upstairs area where they were going to live, especially with that really like oddly narrow like room over there. But we do actually end up making that the kitchen. And this was like the car like parking. I'm not going to even call it a parking lot. It's a parking spot for the Sim that actually lives here. And I just thought that was really adorable, thinking about like them going on deliveries and everything. And we do put some trash cans out back as well. And I really just wanted this to look really nice out here. So it took me a little while to kind of figure out out what I wanted the layout to be on the exterior of the build, even though I feel like I keep going back and forth between the exterior and interior. And I did end up doing this between two different like sessions of building, so this did take me actually a little while longer than I was expecting, but I really tried to put a lot of like cute details in here, so I'm hoping you enjoy those, and trying to figure out exactly the balance that I wanted to have with all of the different colors, so them mainly being the pink, purple, that green, and some like blues in there as well. So trying to wrap those in here and make those, you know, make sense, and so they weren't like super insane. But I did end up going with that really adorable strawberry wallpaper because I was like, that feels correct. So I feel like I used a lot of the pastel pop stuff in here, which again, using a lot of pastel colors, that makes sense. And I do actually end up including the cupcake machine in this kitchen as well. And I did have a sim come to this lot and make a bunch of baked goods, and so there are baked goods in the display cases, and I went ahead and set them for sale. And I also went ahead and the different doors, like I made it like employees only, like the back kitchen area, and I made like household only for upstairs. So I'm not actually sure, let me know. I'm hoping that stuff actually holds over if you download it off the gallery and like you're able to keep the baked goods and stuff like that. So, but of course you can like trash them and make your own, like do whatever you want to, but I did want to make a space here so that you could make your own, change it up. I actually made a couple wedding cakes and sized them down and put them in there as well. I did have to size them down because they definitely did not fit in the display cases like a lot of the other like cakes and cupcakes and things like that. So anyways, just letting you know that they're a little bit smaller, and I don't know if like you go to restock them, like they may end up being like their normal size. So in case you're caught off guard, that's why I did size them down to make them fit, but I just thought they were super cute. And then just adding a little bit of clutter. And then I actually, that like neon cupcake sign on the wall, I ended up kind of making that like the logo slash mascot for this particular bakery. And I kind of decided that once I actually got outside and put an actual like sign outside for the bakery, like I ended up kind of making my own. I ended up using, I think it's the one that has the little like burger on it, which obviously is not appropriate for the bakery. So I ended up actually just taking that cupcake sign and just putting it over the burger so you can't see it. So it actually makes sense here. And then I just added a bunch of clutter over here. I thought it'd be really cute if I ended up putting a bunch of the like wedding cake toppers over here. Like maybe they're storing them there for all the baking that they're doing. And I do end up putting some like baking like dishes over in the corner. I will say that the baking pan does not go dirty, but the but the pot and the bowl do. So those have been cleaned up. They didn't make it into the final version of this build that went on the gallery, but I really wanted to have some different pieces out there that made sense, and I figured that they were probably going to get smelly and gross, but I thought I'd try it, and unfortunately they do get smelly and gross. So those have been cleaned up because obviously your sim is not going to like that. And it was really funny. I was trying to set up this bakery area, like the actual, like where you buy stuff, and I was like, oh no, I need a bathroom. I really should include a bathroom here. So we end up actually putting a bathroom over in the left-hand corner, and I only put one in there. Hopefully that is enough and shouldn't cause you any issues. Hopefully people are just coming in, buying a like cupcake or something and leaving, or hanging out maybe out on the patio. I do have a little bit of seating inside as well. And I also include over in one of the other corners, I include like a little like play area, because again, I figured if this single mom has like a toddler, they might have them downstairs with them while they're working. And also just like if other sims end up bringing like kids, they have something to do while they're here. So we do put some toys over in the corner. And again, same thing with that like backyard area with the swing. I do give access to like other people, like basically sims that come to this lot can go back there as well. I figured maybe like the mom like just, you know, I don't know, she really likes kids and wants them to have a good time while they're here at the bakery. And so I just thought that was kind of cute, but we do end up, like I said, I think at this point I figured out that I needed to actually put in a bathroom. I can't believe I forgot that. Like, I mean, I don't know what's happening. Like I forgot a bathroom in this one, in my townhouse the other day, I forgot a staircase. Like it's fine. It all worked out and really wasn't too difficult to fix, but I just thought it was kind of funny that I just kept forgetting stuff. I almost forgot a trash can, I think, the other day in a kitchen. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just forgetting stuff. I'm waiting for the day that stuff actually ends up on the gallery without having, like, the things it needs. I don't know. It's probably already happened, but, you know, honest mistake. Like, it's a lot to remember, especially if you're, like, super concentrated on just, like, adding all the super cute pastel things. Like, you just forget about some of those details. But anyways, I don't think it's missing anything about, like, what's actually up on the gallery, so I'm hoping you don't have any issues. This has been play tested. I didn't have any issues with it, so I'm hoping that, you know, is the case. I almost put the like infant changing table in there, but it kind of didn't fit super well, so I didn't. I've also heard that it like is a little bit glitchy and doesn't work. Like, if you use it, let me know. Does it actually work? But I've just heard that. I've just not actually tried it myself. And then just adding in a few like cute curtains here. And we do end up keeping 2 display cases, although there's room for only 1 there. And you can see I kind of put a gate and a fence there by the cash register because I wanted it to be where like employees could get back there, but that like other Sims couldn't, if that makes sense. So I forgot to set that for employees only, which I believe you can do. So I would suggest doing that if you're going to use this lot, because I feel like I always had issues with Sims wandering into places they shouldn't be. I mean, like, that's just like, I feel like a Sim classic. They're just going wherever they want to. And also, I guess I technically didn't test the cash register. You may have to turn it around. I wasn't sure which way it needed to face on the counter, if that makes sense. So you may have to turn it around. But I think that should be it. I feel like I'm like, yeah, I play tested it, but you might have to change these things. But they're not too bad to change if you need to. But I thought I'd warn you because I have done that before. I made a bakery, I think, and like the sim couldn't use a cash register because it didn't like the way it was facing, because, you know, that makes a lot of sense. So if you have to swap it around, that's what's happening. But anyways, so just adding in a few clutter items. I tried to pull some plates out of debug that were like for those cupcakes and hoping that they would populate, and that I could like just restock them, if that makes sense, with a sim, but that wasn't the case. So my sim had to, like, from scratch make a bunch of baked goods, which is totally fine. I was also hoping that those like, tiered cakes would also be decorated, or that like the sim could decorate them. That is also not the case, so don't worry. But the stuff that's in there is actually like my sim made, so hopefully that translates to your game. And especially, like, it depends too, like if you want your sim to actually bake this stuff, or if they just, you know, if you just want them to like sell it, you know, that changes too. So, but the kitchen's there in case you want to do that. And of course, I finally got to use those cute little like cookie rugs that we got, like, and it actually made a whole lot of sense in this build. I think I've used them before, but it just makes a whole lot of sense here. And you can see I'm kind of cornering off that cute little play area for the kids, and I end up putting the gate, I believe it's from Get Together, and I think that's the one that you can actually like baby proof, and like hopefully your toddlers don't escape, but I think they can anyways. They can like break out, but that's why I ended up using that. And it came in that really pretty purple and pink swatch, so that made a whole lot of sense. And I made that cute little like corner over there for like a sim to hang out in. And then I end up having 2 tables inside of this area, and then there's like the 2 out there. And I also put some like benches outside as well for your sims to hang out in, because I figure just the more the merrier. That should be good, and like, you know, have a lot of space for all of those customers that hopefully you have. And I think, I mean, like I said, this was play tested. Your sims can get around all of this, and I thought this was super cute. I don't know if I've ever really used those dining chairs, but they just look so adorable here. And I ended up using the high school years table on that second one, and just kind of like, I feel like this space is like cohesive but a little bit eclectic at the same time. Like, some of the items, like, they may not all be of the same style, but they're tied together with the pastels, so we're good. And I got to use those really cute succulents. Like, those were so adorable. I thought that would be so appropriate here in this space. And then using that really pretty pink chandelier as well, which again I don't use often. And I use that like cat light in the corner, again something I don't think I usually use, but I thought it was just cute, and that like maybe the sim that lived here was like, oh, that's adorable, I want it, you know, to put it in my bakery. And I ended up including out here like a space for like dogs, like if Sims brought their pets kind of thing, or even if you decide to add a pet to this house to play with. Because so like where I live, there's a bigger city nearby, and like in their downtown area, they like A lot of the businesses have like dog bowls outside and stuff like that for people that are walking their dogs, and like they're very dog friendly. So I don't know, that's what I was thinking, and I thought that would be kind of adorable. So we did add that in here, and I do end up adding an archway to actually get to that space, because I was back and forth about whether or not I wanted like any sim to be able to get to the play area, but I thought, you know, that might be a cute touch, like especially when the, you know, the baker's like daughter or son or whoever ends up aging up, like maybe they have friends over, that kind of thing. And I end up putting a bench out here as well, because I figured if there's parents, you know, they might want to actually sit out here with their kids. And I don't know, I ended up thinking this was just a really cute area, and just having stuff for Sims to do. And I feel like it's really important on community lots too, which I kind of consider a retail lot a community lot, because like a bunch of random Sims end up coming here, like having things to do for a bunch of different Sims. And I also end up putting like a kind of like a sign on the side of the building as well, like with the what I end up deeming the logo for this bakery. I end up putting that fluorescent like cupcake on the side of the building as well, because I just thought that was a really cute touch. And then just, you know, expanding the roof out, because I didn't do it, and it was so funny. I was outside and I was like, oh no, like I didn't actually move that. So I'm glad I actually caught that. I feel like I would have anyways, like once I actually took screenshots and stuff, but it was just kind of funny. I wonder how long it's been there and just like doesn't like that, it didn't look right. So then just adding in some vegetation in here, again, just looking really cute. And I really don't want to think about how hard it would be to actually keep up with all of this stuff, so luckily we don't actually have to do that. I didn't include any like gardening stuff in this build, but if your sim wants to do something like that, they're free to do so. And I do include a small office area upstairs, because I figured, you know, a business owner probably should have a computer and a little desk area, you know, to take care of business. So we do have a small one upstairs in the actual apartment, so where the mom can actually take care of the stuff she needs to for her business. And we end up again in the living space upstairs. I go with a lot of pastels as well, because I figured, you know, that these Sims kind of like it. And once we get to it, you'll see I kind of went crazy with the purple and pink in the in the toddler's room. I couldn't help myself. I was just inspired by all of the cute colors we had going on in this build, that's what I wanted to do. Of course, you can easily swap those colors out for, you know, any toddler personality that you have, or, you know, if they age up or their preferences change, like that kind of thing. And then just adding in a lot of vegetation, and I end up actually adding in a telephone booth. I don't think I have ever used that item, but I do end up adding it a little bit later over by that lamppost over on the left side, because I was like, I don't know why, but it just seems cute and it just seems like it belongs here. So we do end up adding that, and I pull out like all of the signs from the game, trying to figure out if any of them would be like appropriate here. And not many of them are, but I did, like I said, I end up finding the one with the burger on it, which we do end up changing out for, you know, the cupcake. And I spared you having to actually see me go through that process, but I end up just putting that cupcake over it, and we're just pretending that, you know, like that was just always there. And I did not know this, and I found out kind of by accident, but that like cursive that is on the sign, you can take it off the sign, like it moves like an object. I had no idea. So I actually ended up taking it and putting it on the side of the building along with the logo, because I thought that would be really cute. And like literally I was moving the object and ended up moving the like writing instead, and I was like, well, I had no idea. I had no idea that could happen. So we end up actually adding a bunch of lights around here, because I want it to be like really well lit, like even at night, especially like if you're open at night. I feel like, you know, if you have Sims out there hanging out, that would be really nice to actually be able to see. And so just making sure like none of the plants are like sticking inside of the building, because I added so many of them. I wanted to make sure everything kind of made sense in here. And then don't worry, the doors all end up the same color. I just was indecisive when I started. They don't stay different colors, although I did think about it. But I ended up, I can't even remember which color I ended up going with. I guess we're gonna find out, like, because I was so back and forth, because I liked both of them, and I really did like the Strangerville doors for this build. I thought it ended up looking really cute, and I love being able to see like all of the flowers and stuff outside of the windows. Like, I just think that's so cute. But like I said, I really went all in with the purple and pink for this room, and I kept finding cute items, and I was like, this is gonna be so cute. And I thought about you could see I thought about putting the bookcase kind of behind the bed, because you can kind of do that with like the the larger beds, like the normal size beds, and it kind of looks like this really cool like built-in kind of thing. But for a toddler bed, since they're so small, it just really looked like a safety hazard. Like, again, I know it's The Sims and it doesn't matter, but it just looked dangerous. Do you know what I mean? It didn't look right because the bed was too small. But anyways, I need to actually do that because I've done that before, and I need to actually try it again with a more appropriate size bed instead of one that looks like it would be crushed by the bookcase. But anyways, just adding in all of the cute things I could find in the game and just trying to make that kind of, it looks a little chaotic, but I think for a toddler's room, that's kind of okay. And I will say, the rest of the apartment isn't quite as chaotic, and I feel like it's not as chaotic as the downstairs. And I say chaotic in the best way. There's just a lot of colors and things going on, and I love it. But it just, for the actual living space, felt like maybe it would be a little bit too much to have quite that much going on. So I kind of lean in a little bit to the nice green color that we were using, and using that up here in the kitchen area. And it was kind of funny when I had the sim here cooking, they opted to like come up here randomly to bake. I was like, why are you doing that? So just be warned, like your sim, because they just do whatever they want to, may try to come up here to bake. Like that's really fun. I guess you could like lock the door for them while they're trying to actually like work. And I end up putting in a small dining table over here with a high chair and a regular chair, since this is in a, you know, for a toddler. If you swap it out, you can swap out the high chair, as well as like if you don't like the high chair, you can swap it out too. I tried to make it 3, but it just kind of seemed a little bit cramped, and we did include a fruit bowl here on the table. I couldn't help myself, and also my mom will call me and tell me I needed to add one. So we just add a bunch of stuff over in the corner, stuff that I felt like maybe the kid made, like maybe they were at daycare, or I don't know, something else, or maybe this was just an art project that the mom did with the toddler. Although I will say the hand that's on that plate looks really large. I know that it's supposed to be done by a kid, but it just looks so big that like, was it actually done by a kid? But anyways, I thought it was cute anyways and put it on the counter. But I don't know, I was thinking about that when I was placing it. I was like, this actually looks like an adult size handprint. So, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We're going to go with it. It was the kid. And we end up having this cute little like entryway table here. And I kind of include the laundry day. I actually end up using the laundry day like cabinet that's a little bit longer here, and putting a TV over there. And we include a small love seat and an adorable little chair for the toddler. So when they come out, they can come hang out with the mom and sit out in the living room with her. And your sim can get around everything, and you shouldn't have any issues like getting around here, although it looks a little bit close together. And this is where we end up putting the little office area that I promised you. So just a small desk for the mom to actually, you know, work and do things. I end up putting a degree on the wall. It's actually the mixology degree, which I thought was kind of cool. It was kind of the closest thing I saw to maybe like a cooking kind of degree. So I ended up putting that on the wall because I just thought that was a cute little touch. And then adding a little bit of clutter here to the desk, and I end up putting like a small rug underneath it as well. And I can't remember if I end up swapping out the wallpaper again or not. I'm not sure, because I know I'm back and forth because I felt like there was a lot of pink in this area, but I think it all comes together in the end, like with all the colors and everything. And I actually, sounds crazy, I think in this apartment up here, I can't decide between the mom's bedroom and the bathroom, but I think the bathroom may be my favorite. I think because I was able to use that really cute elephant, like, shower tub combo swatch. You know the one, the really colorful elephant one that was just so cute that I feel like is a lot of times not, like, the vibe for a lot of builds, but for this one, it just made a whole lot of sense, and I got to use that adorable, like, cute owl, like, sculpture there for like the mom. I figured maybe somebody gave that to her or something like that. And just adding a little bit of clutter in here. And I felt like I bounced around a lot in this like apartment, like what I was working on, because I was trying to make sure it all felt cohesive and that like your sim could get around and has everything that they need here. And so utilizing that new basket from the Book Nook kit, I really do like that. I feel like it's pretty versatile. I feel like you can also like layer items and put stuff in it, if that makes sense. So I think that's a nice touch for like an entryway or a desk or something like that. And I did include a little toddler potty in here, so your sim should be able to potty train their little one. And like I said, I love that shower curtain so much. I just don't use it very often, and including that cute little towel rack that we got with Get Together, and just adding in a little bit of clutter here because I feel like you'd probably have a lot of stuff around in here. And then I love that rug as well. It had that really pretty green and like with the little flowers on it. And here's the thing, we're just going to like not worry about the fact that the windows look a little bit weird in this room. Like it'll be okay. It'll be fine. We're just going to ignore the fact that it's a little bit off because I like the way it looked on the outside. And it made sense out there, so we're gonna keep it that way. But I don't think you can really notice once everything is actually in here. It's not as noticeable, but I just wanted you to know that I know it's not quite centered, and usually I do really try to have stuff centered, but since this was like the front of the building, it would really look weird if I rearranged everything, so I didn't. But I just try to keep the mom's room a little more calm in terms of colors, so bringing in some of that like tan color and things, you know, just being a little more relaxing for her and having a place to go and hang out on her own, since obviously having a toddler running a business, you're busy, like you're very busy. So I wanted to give her like a nice space to hang out in, and including the cute birth certificate and the handprints for her kid because I figured that would be really important for her and she would really like having that around. And then just adding a few finishing touches, a little bit of clutter here and there to finish out this room. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.